Today, Jesus is asking two very important questions which hinge on a profession of faith. The first question is, who do the people say that I am? And the disciples are giving him different answers, depending on what they've heard people say about him. The second question is directed to them, for them to give a profession of faith. And he says, but who do you say that I am? And immediately Peter, maybe because he's head of the disciples, responds that you are the Christ of God, a profession of faith. Peter, being the head, might seem to be speaking also on behalf of the disciples. But he is giving a personal profession of faith. This is how he has come to know Jesus, or to know who Jesus is, the Christ of God. If Jesus took time to allow each disciple to give their own response, probably he was going to be shocked that he was going to hear different responses from them. Because each one of them has developed a different relationship with him. They are not all at the same level of faith. And this question is also coming to us today. Who do we say that Jesus is? Who do you say that Jesus is? When a question like this is asked, the temptation is high for us to begin to give responses depending on what we have heard others say about him, or what we have read from the books about him. Those things are things that others have said about him, or what others think Jesus is. But what about me? What about you? If you were going to write a book about your experience with Jesus, what exactly would you put in that book? What you're going to write in that book depends on how you have encountered him personally. Would you also say the same thing that Peter said? Or probably you know Jesus in a different way? Because Jesus has touched each one of us differently. And that is what is going to determine what we would say about him. Who do you say Jesus is in your life? Have I developed a personal relationship with Jesus such that I'm able to describe who he is to others? Or am I still depending on what others have experienced him and have said about him? If I'm not able to give a personal professional faith, then probably I've not yet developed any relationship with him. And so my faith is not yet mature. Who do you say that Jesus is to you? Who do I say that Jesus is to me? The answer that I give, the answer that you give, depends on how we have encountered him personally. Amen.